No. No. Seriously. Get out.
Two Georgia women say they were fired from their jobs at Lululemon after calling police to report this robbery, which one of them caught on camera.
No, you can.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Let's get right into this strange story that we're going to be watching of a news clip of these two women that were fired by Lululemon for basically calling the police during a robbery. Now, I found this video to be very interesting because of the reasoning why they got fired. I'm not going to tell you what it was. We're going to watch the video and then we can hear it together. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And then I'll also give you my opinion at the end of the video. Let's get right into it.
Jennifer Ferguson and Rachel Rogers describing to NBC affiliate 11 Alive Atlanta the horrifying moments the merchandise at the Peachtree Corner store was stolen.
They swiped until they couldn't hold any more product and ran out the door.
We didn't really feel very protected or know what else to do.
The women say they were fired from their jobs after they decided to call the police about the shoplifting, something they say they were told is against company policy. So what are they supposed to do instead?
You kind of clear a path for whatever they're going to do, and then after it's over, you scan a QR code.
Rogers, who says she's worked at the company for 5 years, claims that the store has been dealing with thefts for months, recalling another incident.
Someone sent me a picture of the front entrance table and I was like, oh my gosh, we just sold all the product, good job. And they were like, no, someone just came in and stole everything.
But this was the first time she knows of someone at the store calling police, which local authorities confirm. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office says 3 men have been charged with theft by shoplifting and theft by receiving stolen property from that incident. And they're currently in the Fayette County Jail. Videos of brazen shoplifting have gone viral from stores across the country. And it's common practice for retailers to tell their employees not to intervene.
80% of retailers are experiencing violent incidents. One is to tell folks you should not be interfering or apprehending folks if you do not have the training.
And while a punishment after calling the police for shoplifting might be head-scratching to some, retail trade organizations say it might be more common than you think because some stores have relationships with law enforcement and don't want to waste resources on petty crime.
They don't want to waste their time on what may be an entry-level shoplifting issue when they could be doing something else, because then they're not necessarily going to be as quick to respond the next time when they do need someone there.
Ferguson and Rogers say their actions led to their termination for vague reasoning.
They have a no tolerance policy.
They said because they have a zero tolerance policy.
We tried calling the store and reaching out to Lululemon's corporate offices and did not hear back. Both women now adjusting to their new lives after the April incident.
That was my sole income, so I did have to file for unemployment and use all of my savings to pay for my car payment.
It put us in a bit of a bind. My husband is self-employed, so we're trying to figure out insurance.
There you have it. There you have it. Now, I'm not an unreasonable person. I can see both sides of the situation here. I could see why Lululemon wouldn't want their employees engaging with these criminals. I understand it. It makes sense. But on the other hand, on this situation, they weren't engaging with the criminals. They simply recorded a video of it and then they called the police. Now, having a zero tolerance policy on engaging the criminals, trying to stop them, grab them, fight them, I get it. I 100% get it, because that is a huge liability not only on the employee but also on the employer as well, because of possible very expensive lawsuits. So I get it. As a business owner, that policy makes sense as far as engaging with the criminals, pulling on them, fighting them, trying to grab them, trying to grab the merchandise. I get that. I 100% understand the zero tolerance policy on that. But on the other hand, when you have these ladies where they just simply recorded and then called the police and then they got fired, not because they were engaging, with the criminals, but because they called the police, it does not make any sense. And it's actually unfair to the employee, in my opinion. But what's also even crazier is that this will embolden criminals. If they know, one, that they're not going to stop me, they're not going to physically stop me, and then two, they're also getting fired for calling the police, that does nothing to deter criminals or crime. That actually emboldens the criminals and crime itself. If they know they're not going to face any consequences at all, and the guy even said it, is that the reason we don't want them calling the police is that the police have better things to do. Essentially, they don't have time to deal with these petty criminals, which is absurd, because these types of crimes, these petty crimes, can lead to something far more dangerous. Some of these criminals might not have as much of a restraint as others, to where they just grab the merchandise and go. Some of them might come in there and literally harm people. They might harm people and inflict violence just to get what they want, or just to even get in the door. So if the criminals know that, hey, if I go in here, and one, nobody's going to engage, and then two, nobody's going to call the police, then they're like, hey, it's freebie. I can just go up in here and do whatever the hell I want. And that's the side of this story that doesn't make any sense to me at all. But that's really all I have to say. I think, it makes sense, like I said, for the zero tolerance policy on engaging criminals. Don't be fighting these criminals. Don't put your life on the line. These companies already have, insurance on their merchandise. So you trying to stop an insured product literally does nothing for you or the company, honestly. So let that shit go. Call the police. Well, apparently now you can't call the police. But, just let them have it, apparently. That's what they want you to do. Just let them come in here, take the shit and go. Just don't do anything. Don't talk to them. Don't record them. Don't call the police. Don't try to stop them. Just let them come in there and come take your stuff and go. But the other side of this, that really doesn't make any sense on this aspect, is that Lululemon is a multi-million-dollar company. See, these small mom and pops can't afford to do this. They can't afford to lose merchandise and also afford to replace their merchandise, and also the insurance on their merchandise. Every time you have situations like this and you file a claim, your insurance company is going to raise your premiums. We all know this. This is how insurance works. So if a mom and pop is steadily getting robbed and they can't replace the merchandise, and then two, they don't want to file a claim on the merchandise because of fear of insurance prices, what do you expect these small mom and pop shops to do? They can't afford to just let this slide like Lululemon can. And so when you embolden criminals like this, when multi-million-dollar companies embolden criminals like this, criminals don't give a damn who's insured or not, who's a multi-million-dollar company or not. They just see an easy target. They see the merchandise that they want. Who's ever selling it, they're going to go and get it from them. It does not matter. So this harms small mom and pops a lot more than it does these, multi-million-dollar corporations, because these corporations clearly can afford for you to just let people come in, take their stuff. So anyway, that's all I got to say, man. Let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about this in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button down below for more content. If you enjoy my content, that's how I know to make more, is if you like the video. And of course, if this is your first time on the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button for more content with the notification bell so you get reminded every time I bring a brand new video. Thanks for being here, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.